Hey Shadoe, it's Phil from the Gin Blossoms. Think we can hitch a ride in time for an AT40 flashback?
Why, certainly, Phil. Deposit the old coin up here. And we'll chart a course through the sea of hits and charts gone by for another AT40 flashback.
Casey's Top 40.
Well, now we're up to a rock band that hates to go on the road. And every time they do, they call it a new, miserable experience. And that's what they call their latest CD, too. Whenever the 5 members of the Gin Blossoms sit down for an interview, the questions always come around to touring. They've been doing it for years, loading up their van with suitcases and equipment and traveling all over the USA from their home base in Tempe, Arizona. They say every time they head out, things seem to get worse and worse. They say the distances they have to drive in their van can be really, quote, soul-destroying. The longer the distance, the less the members seem to have to say to each other. One of them goes so nuts on long drives, he'll just choose one word like guilt and say it over and over and over again in different accents and different voices. Other band members say they just turn into silent zombies, staring straight ahead on the road for hours on end. And if that weren't bad enough, they'd get into constant arguments about opening and closing the windows. But as much as they hate driving, they hate stopping even more, because they say that means meals of awful fast food and nights in motels, all of which look the same after a while. When things get especially bad, the band has a catchphrase to describe the way they feel. The phrase, new miserable experience. And when it came time to come up with a title for their debut album, that's the title they chose. These days, their experiences aren't that miserable because that album has sold over 1 million copies and given them 3 top 40 hits. Hey Jealousy, Found Out About You, and Until I Fall Away.
Casey's Top 40.
I'm Casey Kasem. Well, now we're up to the latest hit for an alternative rock band that says the problem with stardom is having to play their songs over and over again. They say they're tired of their own music. It's a problem that some acts have and some don't. Now, Paul McCartney has said that he'll never get tired of singing Yesterday, a song he's been performing for nearly 30 years now. But Mick Jagger has said he has to grit his teeth every time he sings Satisfaction. He just doesn't feel it anymore. In the case of the Tempe, Arizona group called the Gin Blossoms, burnout has set in really quick. To get their career going, they've been playing some 200 shows a year. And at every single show, their fans scream for the Gin Blossoms' big hits, Hey Jealousy and Found Out About You. What's more, whenever the Gin Blossoms appear on TV, they play those songs too. Well, the fans may love the Gin Blossoms hits, but the band is sick of them. Bass player Bill Lean says, quote, "We played Hey Jealousy on Letterman, we played it on Arsenio, and we kept saying, I wish we could do something different because it can get pretty monotonous. We're bored to death with most of our music." Unquote. Bored or not, the Gin Blossoms continue to churn out big hits, and their fans continue to scream for them.
American Top 40.
The Shadow with you, up the chart to number 1. These guys have been on the road so much the last couple of years, they should just get an endorsement or a sponsorship deal with a luggage manufacturer. They've recently been touring with the Spin Doctors, Cracker, and Vinx. At number 22, Gin Blossoms, Until I Fall Away.
Number 15.
Climbing a notch, here's a 5-man band that's on the cover of the March issue of Musician magazine. They're the Gin Blossoms, and this is Follow You Down.
And now, Westwood One Entertainment proudly presents Casey's Top 40, brought to you by 1-800-COLLECT. It's fast, it's easy, it saves. And by Little Caesars Pizza, where you always get 2 great pizzas for 1 low price.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to Casey's Top 40. I'm Casey Kasem, and I'm all set to count down the 40 biggest hits on the pop chart. Our rankings come from the official survey of radio stations from coast to coast. The survey is conducted by Radio and Records, the industry's #1 newspaper. Well, we have one debut this week, a brand new hit by Canadian superstar Celine Dion. Let the countdown begin.
Number 40.
Sliding 3 notches is the Gin Blossoms, a group whose musical experience together isn't just limited to playing playing together in a band. 3 of the 5 group members met while working at a record store in Tempe, Arizona, stocking CDs and cassettes on the shelves. These are the Gin Blossoms with As Long as It Matters. That's the Gin Blossoms with As Long as It Matters. In its second week on the survey, the song drops 3 notches to number 40.
Casey's Top 40.